first domino to fall was in Jacksonville, where Urban Meyer was named the head coach last night. And this was a brilliant move by the Jaguars to Bigfoot divisional round weekend, because why else would we be talking about the Jaguars? And the Jaguars are now the top story, and they have been for the last 24 hours, even though they're not playing in any of the games this weekend. Here's Urban Meyer on job number one for him, which is drafting the right quarterback with that first overall selection.
And obviously the Jaguars do have the number one overall pick. What are your thoughts on this upcoming quarterback class? And is there a separation in that quarterback class with the top overall guy?
You see Trevor, you see Justin, you see Zach, you see, that this is going to be, as Shad said, this is a monumental moment for this franchise. And we've seen some franchises explode, and we've seen others fail. And I've said this many times, throughout my career, is that when the NFL says it's a quarterback league, I would say, well, so is college, and so is high school, so is Pop Warner. It's a quarterback sport. So whoever takes that snap, we have got to be right on.
If I didn't know better, and I may have to go listen to this again, I believe, Charean, that Urban Meyer has given us a Simsism. I believe he said monumental, which is exactly the kind of thing I expect Chris Sims to say on PFT Live any weekday morning between 7 and 9 a.m. Eastern. But beyond that, yes, it is a monumental or monumental, whichever one you choose, decision for the Jaguars as to what they do with that first overall pick.
And Mike, you've talked about this repeatedly. College coaches have not come into the NFL with great success. When you look at the last six who've been hired, it's Matt Rule, Bill O'Brien, Cliff Kingsbury, Chip Kelly, Doug Marrone, and Greg Schiano, who came from the college ranks to the NFL ranks. Their record is not sterling, as you can imagine. 145, 179, and 1. Obviously, Bill O'Brien is the only one of those guys to have a winning record in the NFL after coming from the college ranks. Now, having said all that, Urban Meyer is way more qualified than those other guys based on what he did in college. He actually had great success in college at different programs, unlike those other guys did. When you look at what Cliff Kingsbury did at Texas Tech, he was not successful. And we'll see, the jury's still out on his success with the Cardinals. But, Mike, that is a huge question, and it is a huge gamble. But if you're Shad Khan and you look at the other coaches that you've hired who have not been good, who have not had success, Marrone, Mike Mularkey, and Gus Bradley, this is a good hire for him. And you know why? Because you're going to sell tickets. You're going to sell jerseys. You are going to sell out that stadium. You have the number one overall pick, which we assume is going to be Trevor Lawrence. You could sell Trevor Lawrence, and you could sell Urban Meyer for at least 2 or 3 years to that fan base in Florida.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And Peter King made a great point today as it relates to the pressure that will be on Urban Meyer at the NFL level. And I hadn't thought of it this way, but I'm very familiar with the Ohio State fan base. I've got family in Columbus, and it is over the top. And at the college level, you get one loss a year before you're out of the running for the national championship. So there's an expectation every week that they're going to win. And against most teams, the expectation is they're going to win big. With the Jaguars, you can lose 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games and still make it to the playoffs. So maybe there'll be less pressure, and surely there's less expectation. The fan base is far less zealous. The fan base hasn't been spoiled by anything. 2 AFC championship, 3, excuse me, I forgot about 96. There was 96, 99, and 2017. Am I missing one, 17. Charean? I think that's it, right?
No, I think
3
that's
AFC championship appearances, no Super Bowl appearances for the Jaguars. There isn't a legacy of greatness. And if you're making the jump to an NFL team, I would pick the team that's never been in a Super Bowl. Yeah. I would pick the team with the fan base that isn't already demanding something special right away, and you better be 12-4 or 13-3, and you're not exactly following a tough act in Jacksonville, and you get the first overall pick, and you're in a division that isn't Murderer's Row. This all lines up nicely for Urban Meyer. The question is, can he handle the pressure of the NFL? Maybe he can, because it is less pressure than what is foisted upon the person who's in charge of the Ohio State football program.
And it's obvious, Mike, that he's going to be in charge of personnel. They hired him first before you hire the GM. That's what he's going to do there. He's going to make all those decisions. They are slated to have the most cap space of any team for next season. They have 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s, 2 fourth-round picks. This could be a really quick rebuild. I think the 2 keys are hiring a good staff. You saw Jimmy Johnson do that when he came to Dallas. He hired a really, really good coaching staff, and I think that is the number one crucial thing for Urban Meyer and guys who have NFL experience. If it's Scott Linehan as offense coordinator, at least he has NFL experience and NFL experience as a head coach. And the second thing is getting the quarterback right, obviously. You have to have that quarterback. Jimmy Johnson drafted Troy Aikman with the number 1 overall pick, and it worked out. If Trevor Lawrence is who they pick and he works out, I think this is going to be a great success story in Jacksonville for Urban Meyer.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.